Okay. Alright. Alright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Forrest over here, and welcome back to another reaction live stream. Well, watch along live stream in this situation. And today, I will be doing my reaction, well, watch along, and review of the Election Day special that is You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown. So, to put it simply, this is, of course, this is, as I just said, the Election Day special, and I chose to watch this because we have in the United States we have a very important election coming up, um, which is very big, if I do say so myself. And without picking one side or the other, I can easily say this is probably going to be a make it or break it kind of election. Um, and it's kind of weird for me to say that because this is my third ever election that I'm involved. Well, technically my second one because I've got because there have been three elections that have happened in my lifetime. Um, but this is the second election I'm taking part in. And no, I'm not going to say anything about the election or who I'm voting for or whatever. At least not here. I don't know if I will at all, but I will say for the record that in the event, if I ever do, it will not be, like I said, on this. Because the whole point of this is to do a watch along stream instead of, is to do like a watch along stream instead of trying to be more political. But I will say there will be political jokes here and there, and I may say some things that may be political, but generally I will try to be more middle ground as I could be. Because I know that in a very general sense, all sides of the political spectrum have their own fair share of crap going on. So yeah, we're gonna but yeah, generally we're gonna have a lot of fun here more than uh, talking about political stuff. And if anybody tries to bring up politics, or at the very least do so in a disrespectful manner, I will not be having that bullcrap. I will not be tolerating it. Because in my world, in my channel, I only deal with respect, not assholes. Disrespectful assholes. Just so we're all clear on what I do or don't tolerate. You know. Also, hello Daniel Barry, how you doing tonight? But in any event, here we go. Although the first bit of this will have nothing to do with the election that this is going to be involving in this situation, um, it will at least set up the location of where it's going to take place. But without further ado, let's begin. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Another day of school has come and gone, and Sally is not too happy about something. You're not elected, Charlie Brown. Written by Charles M. Schulz. I know that when I was talking about Charles Schulz, I misspelled his last name on that Charlie Brown Halloween special when somebody was talking about peanuts. Which is what was called. This was not. This is a Charlie Brown special, but the official name of it is Peanuts, the Peanuts comic strip. But it also says Peanuts featuring good old Charlie Brown. And the comic strip started in 1950, which makes it crazy that next year will mark a whopping 75 years since the since the comic strip started. As a matter of fact, it will reach 75 years on October 2nd. You know what that would mean? If everything goes according to plan for next year, I should hopefully, I'm probably gonna be planning to watch the Peanuts movie on that day to commemorate that 75th anniversary because in my book, the Peanuts movie was a really good way to end the story that Charles Schulz created 75 years on that date. 75 years ago on that date. But that's then. This is now. Let's continue with the story. With the movie. Man, she was really upset if she was throwing her stuff down. Why not?
What's the matter, Sally? Why are you upset? Is your teacher giving you trouble again?
Mm.
No, nothing wrong with my teacher. She's a very nice person. Is it one of the classes? No, the classes are up there. Are you having trouble with math? Don't you understand fractions and decimals? No, I don't find it hard. In fact, I even got 100 in my test yesterday. Are you having any trouble with the kids on the playground? No, no, no. That's all right.
Hmm.
Well then, what's the trouble? I can't get my stupid knocker open.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sally, it's time to get up and go to school. I told you I wasn't going to go to school again. Come on, I'll help you with the locker. Well, okay. But there's something else you can help me with.
Really?
If I go to school, will you promise to help me? Of course, of course. Now get up.
That seems kind of a forced lot. That seems kind of
Are you going to have some breakfast?
unnatural when how he said that.
Because I'm never very hungry in the morning. You can't go to school without a rousing breakfast. It's an old fact that all of our country's presidents started each day with a rousing breakfast.
I mean, yeah. How do you expect them to do what they do?
I don't know how they managed to get together every morning, but I guess it's one of those things about government that don't understand.
And to be fair, there are things about government that not everybody understands. Damn, Snoopy. Oh, oh, good morning, Snoopy. Whoa. Damn, Snoopy, you went from yawning, walking sleepily toward this part of the kitchen, yawning, like, like, oh man, I do not want to get up, and then immediately he just runs right toward the, toward the fridge and starts cooking him up a breakfast. Holy sh! Bro, look, what does he have there? Got a good amount of he's got like 7 pancakes, a glass of something, but it's empty. So I'm guessing that's where the blue container comes in. But we also got some eggs. Looks like sunny side up eggs, if I had to guess. Some bacon and some toast. Jeez, bro.
Come on, Sally, let's go to school.
Yeah, it's funny how Charlie Brown yeah, it's kind of messed up how Charlie Brown and Sally get cereal and he gets a full course breakfast meal. Right, so the two of them are ready for school. And there's like that looks like bologna sandwiches, if I had to guess. Hmm.
Okay, Sally, about your locker. Do you know the combination? Of course I know the combination. It's 20, 13, 48. You go to 20, then pass 0 to 13, then back past 0 again to 48.
That's
I remember that sometimes you
not
have to press a
exactly.
lot on the bottom to make it open. Some
Hmm.
of these locks are kind of touchy. You have to make sure that you dial the numbers just right. I had one once that I had to hit on the bottom before it would open. Mine won't open because I can't reach it. That's why.
Hmm. Well then.
Forget that stupid locker. I've got something more important that I need your help with right now.
Oh really? And what would that be, Sally?
Miss Otmar, I volunteer to be first.
Okay. You can grab up first right now, Sally.
For show and tell today, I have a treat for you. I'm presenting my big brother. Now, actually, he's my big brother only because he was lucky enough to be born first.
Damn.
And I'm giving him a show and tell. Don't goof it for me. Actually, big brothers come in a variety of sizes and qualities.
Yeah, she's not wrong there.
Well, this is my big brother, and I just thought I would present him to you today for show and tell. Thank you.
You didn't even say anything outside of the fact that they come in a variety of shapes and sizes, in a variety of sizes. That's literally all you said. You don't say anything about who he is or like what his interests are. You don't say anything of that. You just say, yeah, they just come in all different sizes. That's just how it is. And Charlie Brown is sweating the storm a little bit.
That's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life.
Oh hey,
Student body president? That would be a good job for you, Charlie Brown. You'd make a great student body president. Me? Nobody would ever vote for me. I would. What's going on here? What are you guys talking about? I think Charlie Brown would make a great candidate for student body president. That sounds great, but I don't think I could win. I'd hate to run and find that nobody wanted me to be president. I don't think I could stand that. I'll tell you what. I'll be your campaign manager, and the first thing to do is take a poll. We'll find out if you can be elected.
what do you think the result would be of that poll?
Just think, Charlie Brown, how exciting it would be for you if you did win. I can see it now. All the votes are counted, and everyone comes running up to you and says, "You're elected, Charlie Brown." Would that make you feel great?
Charlie Brown's like, oh my god, Linus, don't get my hopes up, please.
I have the results of my poll. You'll never be elected, Charlie Brown.
Well, at least Lucy was being honest. Now here's where the thing lies. How honest? Now knowing how Lucy is, how honest was she in that poll? Because everybody, a good number. If you grew up with a Peanuts comic strip, you know that more often than not, Lucy does not really. Well, that's a bit of a hard statement to say because for a time it looked like she did have like feelings for Charlie Brown, but ultimately she became this character that we all know and may love, may hate, maybe in the middle, and with love and hate at the same time. But she became the character that would ultimately mess with Charlie Brown in more ways than one. To the point to where sometimes I take what she tells him with a grain of salt.
There's no way of winning. No way.
Here's one of my favorite moments of this special. Here we go. Alright, so math problem of the day because why the frick why not? Why not just say a random question? 34 plus 7 plus 3 is and it's now 40 and as much as I would love to say 42 because that is the answer to everything. Uh that's not the answer here. Get out! No dogs! Yeah, the thing actually clipped onto his toe again for comedic effect.
According to my poll, Charlie Brown, your chances for being elected are zero. No way. Time
Wow.
to put up another candidate. How about you, Linus? You do something about those lockers that nobody can reach.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I'll take
Hmm.
another poll. If my brother Linus were running for student body president, would you vote for him?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Please let me know.
If my brother were running for student body president, would you vote for him? Yeah, I remember one time he gave me half of his peanut butter sandwich. I'd vote for anybody who took me out to lunch. If my brother Linus were running for student body president, would you vote for him?
Hmm.
You bet. How could I help it? Linus all the way. If you knew that Linus Santel was running for president, would you vote for him? No.
Mm-mm.
If you knew that he was going to straighten out the whole educational system, would you vote for him? No. If you knew that he was going to
You could see the annoyance on her face.
solve all the problems of the whole world, would you vote for him? No. Well, why not? Because I'm the one who'd be running against him.
Oh. Oh. Okay then.
Okay, filter in. I conducted my poll on Linus's chances to be elected student body president. The results are 99% for Linus, 1% against.
All right. So let's talk about that clip for a moment. Obviously, it's for comedic effect. But there's also something where, with polls being the way they are, let it be known that polls don't automatically mean that uh, the person that is that is favored in said poll automatically means they're going to win that election. They don't. That doesn't automatically. Even if there was a poll taken on the very last day, on the day before the election, whatever day that may be, even that poll doesn't automatically mean that the president is decided. Because even at the very last second, a president, like, even at the very last second, what you thought was going to happen could change with a snap, like a snap of a finger. That's why I don't always take polls to automatically mean something, especially when there are so many polls out there that either are for what that are targeted toward one side or the other or the middleman or the middleman. So even with the middleman polls, uh, I don't really like take. I basically just take those with a grain of salt, especially when we're months away from the election, because, like I said before to some people, whatever happens between that poll and the election day, anything that's relatively a little bit crazy. Hello, Zelda. How you doing tonight? And Bayou, how you guys doing tonight? But yeah, like I was saying, yeah, just don't take polls with a grain of heart. With a grain of heart. What? With a grain of salt. Also, it should be noted because I have to bring this up, and I did say I was going to be middle ground in this. Lucy did actually commit did do some intimidation tactics on her end. She shouldn't have done that. I mean, that's how she is. She is an intimidating person when she wants to be, but in this certain circumstances, she should not be doing that at all. Doing good? That's good to hear. Good to hear, Zona. Alright, we're getting back to, now we're going back from the serious to the haha funnies.
Boy, this auditorium is packed with teachers and kids. Shh, Schroeder's starting his nomination speech for you. I'm here this morning to nominate for the office of school president a great young man. But first, I'd like to say a few words about Beethoven.
Oh, good
Oh,
grief.
good grief. The candidate who's next.
With all due respect, Schroeder, I get you love someone like Beethoven. I get it. But now is not the time, unless it has some sort of correlation with Linus. Now's not the time to be bringing up Beethoven.
I'd like to place before the electorate a person with the same unique combination of qualities as those possessed by Beethoven, the greatest
Why are you looking at him upset like
that
that?
wonderful pianist, and that tower of strength. Mine is sort of like that too.
Okay, so it did have some correlation with Linus. But also I want to point out, why was Lucy looking angrily at Linus there? What the heck was that about?
As those possessed by Beethoven, the greatest of all composers, that wonderful pianist, and that tower of strength. Mine is sort of like that too.
Alright, Linus.
I accept the nomination for the office of student body president.
Oh wow, everybody be cheering for that one.
All right, get organized. I'm the campaign manager, and of course I have to have an assistant. That will be you, Charlie Brown. And
Hmm,
if you need any assistance, you line up your own staff. You gotta have somebody who will handle things like signs and posters.
hmm.
Snoopy, you're going to be my assistant in this campaign. And the first.
And Snoopy's looking at him like, wait, what kind of campaign are we doing? Also, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what kind of campaign we're doing. You might want to fill me in on this.
Thing I want you to do is to have some signs painted.
Yes,
You can
sir.
line up your own staff.
Thank you, sir. I shall get my good friend Woodstock to help me. Hey, get down here. Let's go. March.
What about popcorn, Linus? What are you going to do about drinking fountains? I'm for them.
Okay. So I'm going to assume the school does not have drinking fountains, which is kind of weird. But then again, I wasn't born in this time period where they may or may not have had water drinking fountains. But okay.
Good. What will you do about recesses? Longer recesses, I say.
Of course, you would say, you know what? He is doing every. Obviously, this is how it's supposed to work. In the rule, gonna go and have something. All right, Zona. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Uh, yeah, hope you have a good rest of your night. As like I was saying, before I had to say goodbye to a good to Zona. Uh, oh yeah. So with um, so what Linus is doing here is basically they are practicing how he is to do his speech. Like what is he for and what is he against? And so obviously the main goal is to try to appease to the voters who are going to be uh, who are going to be involved in this in this case the student body president. Uh, so yeah, right now Linus is going to have to try to do whatever he can to get as many votes as he can get.
Good, good. What about Homer? Are you against Homer? Here, here.
You know what? I can understand the drinking fountain because sometimes using your brain power might cause you to have to hydrate. I can understand having recesses, But you gotta have homework so that way you can be to paraphrase to paraphrase this one character from SML, Super Mario Logan, aka SML nowadays. As he put it, hey, hey, stop that crying, stop that right now. Homework makes you. Yeah, he basically talks about how homework makes a person. Yeah, it gives them a bunch of homework, but he's saying like, homework makes you all smart, which is true. It can make you smarter than you realize, but only if you're willing to do it.
What are you going to do about drinking fountains? I'm for now. Good. What will you do about recesses? Long recesses, I say. Good, good. What about homework? Are you against homework? Here, here. What about sick pay? Are you for sick pay? I'm for it.
So, for those of you that don't even know what sick pay is, and I had to ask this to my mom when I first heard it when I was a kid. Sick pay is basically where if a worker calls in sick, they could get paid for that for that day, uh, because they have enough hours to do so. Yeah. God damn, Snoopy! How many times am I gonna keep doing that? Does it think? Oh, oh no! Ah, what's my head you hit, man? Ah, it hurt. Don't do that again. Hmm. There you go. Are you serious? Let me show ya. Hmm? There you go. Ah, oh, sorry.
Studio's right through here. I've lined you up with a talk show so you can have a chance to answer questions that some of the voters may have.
Now, this is something that politicians that are running for a specific office will more than likely do when it comes to going on a radio show or a talk show or a podcast or something. They do this also. This is something they also do, and I say now, obviously, with the advent of with advent of certain technology, we could do podcasts. But back in the day, uh, you could do like talk shows on radios from like way back when before the television was around. But then with the advent of television, you had uh, talk shows on radio and television, as well as the debates and all that. And then with the advent of technology like this phone, you have the power of listening to podcasts involving both either or presidential candidates. But personally, I prefer hearing both of them, even if I am favoring one more than the other, because you never know what can happen.
It'll give us the kind of exposure we need.
Hmm. You know? There we go. Ow.
Stand
Is that?
by. Okay, you're on, Linus. Hello? Yes? Are you there? Hello? Hello? Am I on the air? Hello? Hello?
Oh my god.
Good grief. Yes, you're on the air. What do you have to say? Do you have a question? Yes, I'm a first-time caller, but a long-time listener. I want to know what the candidate's going to do about the rivers. Rivers? Our school doesn't have any rivers.
She probably should have mentioned that this was a school student body presidential election instead of an actual presidential election.
Hello? Am I on the air? Yes, you're on the air. What is your question? Well, I just called up, I have questions, and you know how it is when you're voting, and I just wanted to ask.
Oh my god, this. They're dragging it on. I don't like it when people do that. I hate it when people drag on a conversation or a question like this. It's annoying. But even Snoopy is like, even Snoopy is like, oh my god, just stop. I'm gonna be, I want to be over here reading the book. Let me know when they're done talking.
Hello? Hello? Who is this? What do you mean, who is this? Do you want to talk to the candidate? What? No. I'm calling the office. See? Harold home? I want to talk to Harold. You have the wrong number. Hello? Hello? I have a question. I want to ask this question, and I want to talk to the candidate. Can I ask the candidate a question? Yes, the candidate is here. Hello? Yes, well, I have this question that I thought maybe if I called, I could ask you the question. Because I know that if you're going to talk to the candidate,
You know what, Snoopy? I don't blame you.
it's hard having a talk show like this. Because it's kind of nice when we can call in and ask our questions.
Oh my god, I'm like, sir, do you have a question? Is there a question at the end of all of this talk? Because, dude, they're talking so long that it's literally taking up airtime that they have. If you don't have a question, don't don't call the number. And if you do have a question, make it short and sweet and to the point. Alright? Simple as it gets. Don't be like this kid.
Because you really can't ask questions to the candidate.
It's just like, oh my god, this shit needs to stop.
I don't know how you can vote for somebody, and I'm glad that I have a chance to ask this question. And I hope you don't mind, because I thought about this question, and I think it's good to be able to ask questions of a candidate.
She's just losing it over here.
I have a question for you. Yes? What? What is your question? What? What did you say? What is your question? Question? Oh my gosh, I forgot what the question is.
Oh my gosh, she just went apeshit on that phone. She's like, she just threw it down like, oh my god, that face of hers. Look, dude, you guys had to have seen her face. Oh my god. Dude, she just has that face, bro.
I see by the clock that our time is just about up. I'm glad that we have had this opportunity to talk, because I think that it has cleared up a lot of the issues on the minds of you voters. And if we don't have talk shows like this that can help us clear up these issues, we cannot really have good government. Thank you all for your cooperation.
Yeah. Really, Snoopy, you couldn't just take the thing off of him.
We're in. Polls show Ryan's ahead 99.8% to 0.2%.
Hmm.
I'll go out now and introduce the opposition.
Alright. Let's see how this goes.
My friend.
So this is basic. This is looking to be like the stage where, this is like the. I'm going to assume it's going to be like the debate kind of stage, but I don't know if they actually show any kind of debate going on here. But the way they got it set up makes it seem like it's a debate. It's going to be like a debate sort of deal going on there.
It gives me great pleasure to present to you our two candidates for office. I'm happy to present Russell Anderson.
Wow, just a few handful.
And Ryan Mandel.
Wow. The overwhelming majority is absolutely astounding. You know what? This is like that, what was that one presidential election, where where I think it was like the 80, it was like the 84 or it was like I think it was one of the, I forget which one it was, but I think it was the one Ronald Reagan election where literally all but one state picked him to be like the electoral college picked him to be elected the president. And honestly, I don't think honestly, I would be very surprised if we ever seen something like that in American history again. Because ever since George Washington, the very first presidential election, which was with Washington, uh, for obvious reasons, this was the closest to what's the word I'm looking for? Unanimous decision ever in American history.
I know you are all anxious to hear what the candidates have to say. So without further ado, I present to you Russell Anderson. I'm very honored to be running for student body president. If I'm elected, I promise to do the best I can. Thank you. Boy, now we're really in it. That's the worst speech I ever heard in my whole life.
Yeah, nothing can quite go wrong here, right, Lucy? Right?
Well, you heard that one candidate. Now I'd like to introduce Linus Van Pelt. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Friends, schoolmates, teachers, countrymen. I'm electing student body president that will purge the kingdom. My administration will release us from our spiritual Babylon. My administration will bring down false idols in high places. I wonder why the principal looks so pale.
Wow, that's kind of messed up. When even see, because here's what Linus about. He is saying all kinds of different things, and the principal is over here like, I don't like where this is going.
I will demand immediate improvements. I will demand across the board wage increases for custodians, teachers, and all administrative personnel. And any little dog who happens to wander onto the playground will not be chased away, but will be welcomed with open arms.
But Snoopy, where the hell did you come from, bro? What?
I will do away with cap and gown kindergarten graduations and sixth grade dance parties.
Wow.
You know the sixth graders did not like it when you got the whole freaking group of them being like, "Yeah, Linus, woo!" You know, that's crazy.
In my administration, children will be children, and adults will be adults. If I'm elected school president, my first act will be to appear before the school board. I'm sorry. I will not be able to appear before the school board. They meet at 8 o'clock, and I go to bed at 7:30.
You know what? You know what? It's not bad to have humor in. It's not bad to have humor in your speech. But I will also say one thing that a candidate has to be careful with is saying I'm going to do this thing, but the thing ultimately I won't say is impossible because there's a variety of reasons why their promises may not be able to be done, but there are others that are just very difficult, if not near impossible, to try to do for one reason or another outside of you know, like, outside of like a voting kind of thing going on with, yeah, with the voting, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because there are things that, because there are a multitude of different ways how things can be done and how they are enacted into law by the president. There's too many things. It's just a bit too complicated for me to say uh, without taking a good amount of time when I'm trying to watch this video. Well, with this election day special. But yeah, generally speaking. But yeah, also like I said, it doesn't hurt to have comedy in your speech. And I hate to pull this, but I gotta say this. Just don't be like that one comedian at that particular rally. Because saying jokes like that at a rally is literally the last thing you'd want to do. Or even if it's not the candidate saying it, just don't invite people that are controversial, especially a controversial comedian known for uh, very edgy jokes. Like any sort of edgy joke, whether it be like dark jokes, racist jokes, or whatever. Don't bring them on. Just stop. Just don't. Because the whole point of a rally is and I know I and I will say this much to kind of balance that out. Also, while we're at it, don't call the opposition's supporters garbage, okay? Because, well, I mean, the other side should be happy he's not running for re-election. Because if he was, that honestly would be up in the air to see who would win the election after that. But yeah, different person running on that side of the coin for the guy that was running that called people garbage. Meanwhile, the other side, pulling that stunt, inviting someone to a rally, saying what he said. Yeah, that's not gonna end. That's probably not gonna change too much, but it's not really ending well for him at all, anyway. But with that being said, we're getting the literal political stuff out of the way. But I did have to make that reference. Come on, guy. I had to make that reference with that Trump rally where the guy made that racist joke. Even no matter how good or how bad that joke was, the fact that he said it at a rally was stupid. There's a time and place for if you want to say edgy and or racist jokes or whatever, do it where it doesn't really matter one way or the other where you do it. But don't ever do it at a rally. Just don't. It makes the guy you're rallying behind look bad because he invited you and you say this. Just don't do it. Anyway, that's hopefully the only reference I'm going to be making in regard to the real world like the real world presidential election that's coming up. But we have to watch the rest of this before I can make that determination.
I'm a reporter for our school paper, Linus. Would you care to tell us what you intend to do if you're elected? I intend to straighten things out. We are in the midst of a moral decline. If I'm elected, my first act will be to meet with the Parents Club.
Okay, Linus.
I love your enthusiasm, but even she's like, dude, you are taking this way too seriously.
Principals and all the teachers, we are sorry to put down that you're very honored and will do your best if elected.
You're pretty much just rewriting what Russell said in that whole thing.
Correct? Yes. I'm a photographer.
I'm not gonna say anything. I just have him in my head because he said something like that almost every time there's an article about him published. More so than the other side, but that's just yeah. I'm not gonna say much of anything after that.
For our school paper, Linus. As long as you're running for school president, we'd like a picture of you. In order to make it look sort of homey, I thought we'd pose you with the dog. I've changed my mind.
Wow.
This is your last speech of the campaign. So go out there and give it all you've got.
Alright, Linus,
Let's see what you can do for your last speech.
Mr. Chairman, teachers, and fellow students, this will be my last speech before our election. We've got it cold, Charlie Brown. I want
Lucy, do not count your chickens before they hatch, okay?
you to know I have enjoyed this campaign.
Duh.
And it has been a pleasure to meet so many of you. I have appreciated your support. Therefore, I have a little surprise for you.
Okay, what is it?
And as a change of pace, rather than campaign talk, I decided to say a few words about the Great Pumpkin. Ugh!
What did I just say about saying things at a rally? There are things to say at a rally, or in this case, a speech, a thing like this. And talking about very minuscule things, like in this case, the Great Pumpkin, is not really worth talking about.
Because it's like,
Dude, really, of all the times to say something either irrelevant or just plain dumb, you choose to talk about something, in this case, irrelevant, uh, on your last, on the last bit of the road toward until the election. Sometimes I wonder about people, like both fictional characters and actual people, who are in this position where they're running for election and then they ultimately say something, either something really stupid, or they say something that is so minuscule it did not need to be brought up again, or more specifically, something so completely irrelevant that it wasn't even worth bringing up. In this case, like I said, he brought up something that could be seen, well, definitely could be seen as being irrelevant to talk about, but could also be seen as just straight up stupid to bring up.
So soon be with us. And on Halloween night, the Great Pumpkin rides down the pumpkin patch and brings
and
toys
they're
to
starting to
the
laugh.
children. I've blown the election. All right, say it. Say it. Go ahead and say it. I know you want to say it. I talked too much and I blew the election. So go ahead and say it. Oh, you blockhead! She said it.
Mm-hmm.
The way I see it, we still have a chance. My personal poll now shows you and Russell tied at 50-50.
All because he had to bring up the Great Pumpkin. See, that's what happens when you say, like I said earlier, this is what happens when you bring up something either completely redundant, completely irrelevant, or just straight up stupid. That could happen where your popularity is so high, but the next thing you know, it is not going to be as high as it was anymore. You'd be lucky if you even get elected.
If you don't do some other stupid things, we might still pull it out of the bag.
But he still has
The shot.
Depressing to say, there are students who don't believe in the Great Pumpkin. It's hard being campaign workers. We're completely at the mercy of our candidate. We do all the work, and the candidate gets all the credit.
You know, I would not be surprised if that is actually true.
Ring doorbells and make your posters and build up the candidate's image, and then he says something stupid and lose everything we've done.
Yeah.
That can happen.
The next time I do anything
Well,
2 for Russell, 1 Linus.
so now comes the actual election. So right now it looks like Linus is up by, or no, Linus is down by at least 2. Unless they got something going on behind there where we can't see the full numbers.
3 Linus, 2 Russell. 82 Russell, 81 Linus.
Ooh.
1 for Linus. 82 Russell, 82 Linus.
That's not. There's a 1 there. Hold on a second.
1 for Linus.
So, I believe that's a continuity error here. First off, uh, Schroeder, why, he just said there was a vote for Linus. Why are you writing it down? Why are you writing a thing on yours when it should be, I, um, what's her name? The one that wears the green dress. I can't think of her name right now. But why are you writing the 1 when it should be her? Technically speaking, it'd be 82 Russell, 82 Linus.
82 Russell, 82 Linus.
Yeah, so
So the numbers are right, but they did the wrong animation.
1 for Russell. 83 Russell, 82 Linus.
again,
They did not fix the error.
4 Linus. 83 Russell, 83 Linus.
There they fixed it. They fixed the animation error. So it comes down to this last vote, and who would be the last to vote but Russell? I have seen this cartoon before, so I know how it ends. I know who he votes for. But for those of you that don't know, who have not seen this, do you think Russell is going to vote for himself, or do you think he's going to vote for Linus? Against all the insurmountable odds stacked against Linus, will Russell vote for Linus, or will Russell vote for himself? I'm just giving you guys a moment to type it out. I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be playing it here anyway. I just wanted to see what you guys think would happen, even if you're not gonna say anything. But now, the moment of truth awaits. Let us see who Russell has picked, himself or Linus.
what? Oh,
Crap.
I think that he would make a better president than I would.
the respect.
4 Linus. That makes it 84 Linus and 83 Russell. Linus is the winner.
And with that,
Linus would, by 1 vote, won the student body election. This boy should honestly consider himself lucky that he won this election. Because I don't know how one-sided it would have been had he not brought up the Great Pumpkin, because it did seem like an overwhelming majority was for Linus up until that point. But like I said, he won the election, so that's something there. Good job, Linus. You earned that. Even though you messed up in one particular moment, you did good. And you can just hear the Peanuts theme in the background.
You go right in and tell him. You've got the authority. We voted you in.
See, here's the thing. Sally literally forced him into that, okay? So, whatever happens, if it's anything bad, she's got nothing. She should not be complaining if it's anything bad happening there.
Linus will know the rule. You should make today a school holiday.
Why?
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right, sir. I won't do anything without consulting you, sir. What an order.
Well, I hope you told him.
Well, not really.
What?
As a matter of fact, he told me.
He's sold out! We elected him and he's sold out!
Damn.
Now, what did I just say, Sally? You literally dragged him into doing that. You have nobody to blame but your own damn self. Because you did that, not him.
You elect them and they weasel out of their promises.
You know,
So many people feel that way about so many different presidential candidates in the past that it's literally not even funny. In my honest opinion, the way I see it, it's what I said before. There are a multitude of times where a president will actually follow through with what they said they were going to do, but at the same time, there are going to be a multitude of different ways that are going to prevent them from doing what they want to do. Uh, Particularly when you've got a
And they weasel out of their promises.
yeah, so
the whole point of a president is to that they will not always, not every president is going to, not every single person campaigning to be president, if they are elected president. One thing people need to understand is that not every single promise that that a person running for president made is going to happen. It's just not going to happen because there's a multitude of different factors that are going to prevent it from happening, no matter what. And I'm saying this, like I said, I'm going to say things in the most middle ground possible, uh, in a certain way. And in this case, the best thing to say, instead of saying, oh, well, you promised you were going to do this and you never did. Don't, just, instead of doing that, just be like, well, they didn't follow through on some promises, but at least they kept their word on others. Like, to me, if they couldn't keep their promises on a majority of what they said they were going to promise, I think that would put them in the running. In my book, that puts them in the running for a possible re-election, unless, like I said before, they say or do something so stupid or completely irrelevant that, or both stupid and irrelevant, that it costs them that re-election. Yeah, so yeah, yeah. I keep saying so yeah, I know. But you get what I'm saying. The fact of the matter is, if you're gonna if you're gonna play that game, make sure there are promises you know you can keep. And even then, don't be crazy enough to promise things that you may or may not, that you most likely know isn't gonna be able to happen for one reason or another.
oh my god.
God, and that was You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown. So, You're Not Elected, Charlie Brown, as I said, was the election day special for the Peanuts uh, holiday specials. Now, obviously, they do have a different cartoon for this one titled "He's a Bully, Charlie Brown," but we're not watching that because that has nothing to do with the election. With the election day special. As a matter of fact, this is more like a spring break kind of thing there. But anyway, I think they pretty much did the process of from the nomination, from being nominated, no matter how many times a person is, no matter how many people they choose to nominate, whether it's a person they wanted to nominate for re-election or if they decided to ultimately go for somebody else. Yes, I am bringing that up for a reason. Either way, they go from the nomination process up to the very day of election. So, and I think they did that pretty well for a kid's standpoint. I think it was really, I thought it was really well done for that. Like, it could be done, like, kids might still have a question about some of the things going on with the election, but I think as far as kids go, this might be the best way to teach them how the election process works, but also to teach them the do's and don'ts of what you, of saying or doing things anywhere while you're running for office. But I think they did it pretty well. I actually very much enjoyed this. The only thing I will say is that, if I'm being completely honest, I honestly would have liked to have seen what Russell was thinking of doing. Like, where they could have done it in a way where you got Linus on one side and then you got Russell on the other. And so you're swapping back and forth between Linus and Russell. Because Russell is literally like the character of the main side character of this special. So yeah, the way I'm looking at it, Russell uh, should have been given a bit more of a spotlight than he was given throughout the episode. But I'll take what I can get. Either way, I thought it was a good episode, and I recommend it to anybody that has kids that are just curious about how the process how the whole process of the election it goes. But either way, that's the end of this watch along stream. Hope you guys enjoy, even with the political banter I may have done, but also with the educational stuff I have said. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. But like I said, if anybody is going to try to be political in the comments, please be respectful. It's not that hard to do. I know it's not that hard to be respectful, but people tend to not do that for whatever reason. Either way, be respectful or expect your comment to be taken down. Because I am not going to deal with disrespectful people on either side of the coin, okay? Because I may be, I may have the person who I'm going to be voting for set in stone, but I'm not going to treat supporters of either person any different of one person. I'm not going to treat the supporters of the person that I'm voting for differently to the people who are voting for the opposition. I, I'm that fair of a person. But with that said, hope you guys enjoyed this. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Forrest Walpole, signing off.